Solar pool heaters sound great in theory. But how effective are solar pool heaters actually? And what pool temperature increase can you realistically expect in just a few days? To find out, we did a simple test. We collected pool temperature data over the course of 1 week, and in the first half of the week we left the solar heater switched off. Then, by the middle of the week, we turned the solar heater on to see how the pool temperature changed throughout the remaining week. Okay, I hope you enjoy the video, and let's have a look at the test results. Our pool is located by a small village in western Germany, and we did the whole test at the end of April during the German spring season. This is exactly the time when a solar pool heater could potentially extend the pool season, as the pool water is usually way too cold to take a swim, while the sun is already shining several hours per day. Okay, now to some quick pool specs. So the pool measures 4 by 8 meters and has a surface area of 32 square meters. It also has a depth of 1.2 meters and has a total capacity of 38,000 liters. So it's a rather large pool for a private household. And the pool also doesn't have a cover, which will lead to higher temperature loss during the nighttime. The solar pool heater is placed on a flat roof of a garden shed and measures 4.75 by 7.75 meters and has a surface area of 36.8 square meters. In our case, the solar heater is from Solar-Ripp, who built and designed custom solar pool heaters. You find an online configurator in the video description where you can configure your individual solar pool heater tailored to your specific pool setup. But more on that later. So how did we measure the pool temperature for the test? We employed a simple method and just placed a conventional pool thermometer 40 centimeters below the water surface. And this has two major advantages. So on the one hand, we capture the actual swimming temperature, and on the other hand, we avoid temperature fluctuations at the water surface. Over the course of 6 days, we logged the temperature 2 times per day, once in the morning at 9 AM and again in the afternoon at 4:30 PM. Our test could obviously be undermined by changing weather conditions, but we were lucky to have relatively constant weather throughout the whole week. We had sunny weather on all days, except on the last day we had some clouds. The air temperature, on the other hand, increased steadily throughout the week. However, the sunshine duration is actually way more important when it comes to the effect of the solar heater itself, as well as changes in the pool temperature, than solely the air temperature. So, at which pool temperature could we actually go into the pool? This is of course a little bit subjective, so we asked ChatGPT, and based on the answer we could start using the pool at around 20 to 22 degrees water temperature, and everything above 24 degrees would then be extremely comfortable. So now, let's have a look at the actual test results. So we start with the results on the measurements at 9 AM in the morning, and on the first 3 days the water temperature at 9 AM was between 11 and 13 degrees. And 11 to 13 degrees is quite cold water, and you would probably need a neoprene suit to spend longer time in the pool during that time. So the solar heater was still off during those 3 days. During the third day, the solar heater was then switched on at around 1 PM in the afternoon, meaning that until the next measurement on day 4, the solar heater was running for approximately 20 hours. Now, looking at the next measurement, we can see an immediate jump in the water temperature to 17.5 degrees, so an increase of 4.5 degrees in less than 24 hours. And looking at the previous days, we only had a 1 degree increase per day when the solar heater was still switched off. And what is also noticeable now is that the water temperature is now above the air temperature. On day 5, so around 48 hours with solar heating, the temperature increased to 20 degrees, so we had an additional increase of 2.5 degrees. And again, 1 day later, on day 6, the temperature then reached 22 degrees. So comparing now our final measurement with the last measurement where the solar heater was still switched off, we see a total increase of 9 degrees. So an increase from 13 to 22 degrees. If you are now also considering to extend your pool season, the solar pool heaters of Solar-Ripp might interest you. Solar-Ripp designs and manufactures custom solar pool heaters tailored to your specific pool setup. You can simply try the online configurator in the video description to configure all components of your individual solar system, from the length and width of the solar surface to various water in and outlets, as well as the mounting method or the overall design. The configuration process is quite easy, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Once ordered, the system is manufactured and packaged by our engineers and can be shipped worldwide. Okay, so now let's also have a look at the test results of the afternoon at 4:30 p.m. So during the baseline measurement without solar heating, the water temperature was 16 degrees on the first day and 17 degrees on the second day. So 5 degrees warmer than during the morning at 9 a.m. Now to the third day. Since the solar heater was turned on at 1 p.m. on the third day, it had already been running for 3.5 hours by the time the measurement was taken at 4:30 p.m. After these 3.5 hours of solar heating, the water temperature increased to 20 degrees, so we have an increase of 3 degrees. Over the next 2 days, the trend continued steadily and the pool temperature increased by 2.5 degrees each day. So after about 3 days of solar heating, the pool temperature increased to 25 degrees, which is the typical target temperature for swimming and comfortable for most people. On the last day, we only had an additional increase of half a degree, so to 25.5 degrees, which was likely due to the increased cloud cover. So comparing now our final measurement with the last measurement where the solar heater was still off in the afternoon, we see a total increase of 8.5 degrees in 3 days, so from 17 to 25.5 degrees. Okay, so this was our test. So within 3 to 4 days, we were able to raise the pool temperature with the solar heater to 22 to 25.5 degrees and thus achieved a pleasant pool temperature in the spring. Of course, this was just a case study and temperature increases for other pool setups are likely to vary significantly depending on various factors such as the size of the solar surface, the duration of sunlight exposure, or whether or not a pool cover is used. We are planning to do more tests and videos for the future, and if you have any questions or if you are interested in a specific topic, let us know in the comments and also leave a like. And also, if you don't have a solar pool heater yourself yet, try out the online configurator to configure your individual solar heating system. And with that, see you next time.